If you learn how to live like a plant, you will be enlightened. You see, let's just get straight to the point, shall we? You are already enlightened. We are all born enlightened. We only become endarkened through our conditioning, through our trauma. You get the idea. And so that light we had in our eyes as children becomes more and more dim, like great dark clouds that cover the sky and block out the light of the sun. The sun is always there. It's just the clouds are in the way. You see, enlightenment is the base layer of what we are. It's the foundation. It is perfection. But we also have all of these different layers on top, the layers of the mind. And it is these layers that prevent us from seeing the truth, the true nature of what we are. The secret, the key to enlightenment is not about gaining anything. It's about removing. It's about removing all of the layers that keep you from the natural state of what you already are. Enlightenment, as I have heard it put before, is breaking the ego habit. So the ego is part of the higher layers. So as an ego, as a separate individual, we're always judging. We're always thinking. We're always ruminating on the past and the future, something that animals don't have. But if you pay attention to a dog or a cat or any animal, or especially a plant, they are masters at just being, because they don't have any higher faculties to do anything else. They're not distracted by all the kind of nonsense that humans distract themselves with. It's interesting, if you've ever looked at a bug, really analyze them. Like God looking down at the world and with his microscope, like in a petri dish. If you look at a bug, they always seem like they have somewhere to go. Like they're on a mission, like they have a purpose. Like they know exactly what they're doing and where they're going. But in truth, you know that the bug cannot possibly know any of this. And you might ask yourself, well, what causes a bug to move in this way or move in that way? Or to do this or that? What is motivating these bugs? What is this mission that they're on? You see, before I continue, we must understand that all life is connected. That we are not separate from nature, we are not separate from the bugs. But evolutionarily speaking, we began as simple as possible. And then more and more layers began stacking on top of that. So we as humans have all of the layers. We have the layers of the bug, the plants, the lobsters, the fish, the birds, the reptiles. We have all those layers. We have the mammalian brain, the reptile brain. Like ogres, we have layers. So we can actually understand the nature of the bug or the nature of the plant through our own personal experience. Now, sure, there's a degree of assumption. The point is that we are not so different. We have the same systems, or at least the remnants. I would go so far to say that we even have the remnants of the star that gave birth to the earth. Birth to the earth. Because not only is all life on the planet one, but all things in the universe are one. There is just one eternal evolutionary process that unfolds. And so somewhere deep inside of us, there is evidence of the star from which we were created. There is evidence from every step in the evolutionary chain. And so back to the bug. You see, the bug does what it does because it has a guidance system. They have a binary code which says yes or no. It moves according to this yes or no factor. It's going, no. Okay, let's go this way. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. It doesn't know what it's doing. It just knows yes or no's. No. And we too have this system. And in fact, this is how I live my life. You see, because as you awaken, as you embark on the spiritual path, you, step by step, day by day, begin undoing all of the karmic attachments. You begin returning back to the base layer, becoming free from all of the psychological nonsense. And so I live my life very simply. Like a plant, I only know two things. I know whether or not I am away from the light and the warmth of the sun, or if I am drawing closer to it. And this, what you might call, is our emotional guidance system. It is what guides us to the truth and away from the illusion. It guides us toward love and peace and joy and away from suffering. But it requires awareness of how you feel, awareness of your body. And the more you become aware of your body throughout your daily life, you will see how every thought, how every action moves you in these certain directions. Now, most things are neutral, but you will see when something creates tension within you, when something creates suffering, or when something produces joy. And when you begin this process of just paying attention, you naturally and more easily are able to do more things that bring you joy and move away from things that bring you suffering. But when people are distracted with the world, when they're distracted with their mind and all the layers, they are not aware of how the things they are doing are either creating suffering or creating positivity. And so when you kind of block out the world and you focus within, you focus on how you feel, you focus on your inner state of being, you will naturally be guided and led toward the light. Because anything that you do that causes you to stray from the light will be unbearable. Or at the very least, it will be unfavorable. So you will naturally say, well, I'm not going to do that anymore because it just doesn't make any sense. And as you start doing more of the things that bring you up and less of the things that bring you down, you raise to higher states of consciousness. And the higher level of consciousness, the more aware you become, the more clarity you have to what is right and to what is wrong for you. The path unfolds more easily. You experience more peace, more love, more joy, and far less suffering. You see, consciousness is the source of harmony. It is the source of love and joy and peace. So the more you have of it, the more you experience it. But at the same time, if you have strong attachments to your mind, the mind will take all of the life juices and use it for its own purposes. That is why it is of critical importance to start undoing the layers, to return back to base reality. As I have said, to return back to the Garden of Eden, to paradise, not as animals, but as higher consciousness beings. And that is how we create heaven on earth. Otherwise, the mind will destroy everything. It is not that the mind is evil. It is just that the mind brings you out of harmony. So become aware of your inner guidance system, your inner compass, because it will lead you to the highest states of consciousness. It will lead you to where you're meant to go. But if you follow your mind, you will easily be led astray. When you are connected with this guidance system, you are connected with the flow of life. And so you become in harmony with life. You become in harmony with consciousness. And this is what it means to be guided by God, by life, by the universe. And when you trust this guidance and you do not rely on your own mind, life becomes extremely harmonious. And you can allow the blessings to rain in. You are able to receive all good things, and life becomes miraculous.